In order to make the base of the chair, you will need 150 grams of Rice Krispies, 300 grams of marshmallows. These are in a pan with a small amount of butter to help prevent them from burning, and an 8-inch square greased cake tin. You want to start by slowly melting the marshmallows over a very low heat. Once you have melted down the marshmallows, simply add the Rice Krispies and stir in. Now you want to take the 8-inch square tin, add the marshmallow and Rice Krispie mix directly to the tin and push all of the mixture down and just leave it to one side just to allow it to cool slightly. Here I have my working surface covered with some baking parchment. Simply take the loose based cake tin and push out those Rice Krispie treats. Using a knife, you then want to just release the Rice Krispie treats from that base and cut this into 4 pieces. We will only be needing 3 of them, so you will have some spare. All I've done is place the 3 pieces directly on top of each other, and now I want to carve it into more of a chair sort of shape. So I'm going to go in at an angle from either side. Make sure the back is completely flat and also a slight angle at the front. Just carve a little bit away at a time. In order to seal this and protect it from the air as well as help cover up those lumps and bumps, I simply cover all of these Rice Krispies with some melted chocolate. Once your chocolate has set, simply add some edible glue to both the front of the chair and the top. And as you can see on the left hand side here, I've just rolled out a very thin amount of grey modelling paste. I'm simply going to then drape this over the chair and cut off the excess fondant. I only need this modelling paste to be on both the front of the chair and the top. In order to create the arms on the chair, again I'm using modelling paste, but also 5mm spacers. This will just mean that my modelling paste is exactly 5mm thick. Don't worry if you don't have any spacers, just make sure you don't roll it too thin. You then want to cut a straight line both down the side of the modelling paste and the base of the modelling paste. This is just so that you can fit the chair on there an awful lot easier. I will then be picking up the chair with the edible glue on and placing it directly onto this. I will now speed it up so that you can see exactly what you need to do. Simply repeat this for the other arm. For the back of the chair, I have again rolled out my modelling paste in between the 5mm spacers. This time, however, I'm choosing to cover the modelling paste in the edible glue. We will then be physically picking up the chair and placing it directly onto this modelling paste. And just like we did before, we will be trimming off any excess fondant, but also cutting it so that the top of the chair is quite tall and has a nice smooth shape just to the top of it. We want it to look like a chair. So take your time doing this, and I will speed the process up for you. In order to add the swords on the chair, I am using Katie Sue's Swords Silicone mould. Now these are very high quality moulds, very easy to use. Here you get 2 different size swords, so a large one and a smaller one. I'm just going to show you a few hints and tips on how I use them. I like to first of all grease my mould with some Trex vegetable fat. I find by doing this and also adding icing sugar, it helps the modelling paste or high quality fondant, whatever you choose to use, to come out of the mould so much easier. You then simply push your modelling paste or fondant directly into the mould and release it. I'll speed all of this up again just so that you can see exactly how it works, but also just how effective it is. So this part is quite time consuming, but it's what makes it a Game of Thrones cake topper. So you need to make loads of your swords, so that's quite time consuming in itself, and then take your time positioning them directly onto the chair. Get them as neat as possible, and you literally want to cover the whole chair, the front, the back, the seats, everything with this sword mould. Again, I'll speed this up just so that you can see different parts of it slowly coming together. Now, I won't lie, that was very time consuming, but now it's time to add the perfect finishing touch. I'm using a Rainbow Dust Dark Silver Metallic Edible Paint and an airbrushing kit, and I'm going to completely airbrush all of this chair. If you do not have an airbrushing kit, this can be hand painted, but again, this is just going to take a little bit longer. Now, something I have also done off camera is just placed a few lollipop sticks in the base of the chair where the Rice Krispie treats are. This will just allow a little bit more stability when it is placed directly on top of a cake. Remember to always dowel the cake, so there will be cake dowels underneath this topper as well, and I shall just speed this process up for you. I do add something just a little bit extra after this metallic paint to give it that beautiful sparkly finish. Now, in order to add that beautiful finishing touch, I use this completely edible silver cake lace spray, but because it's in a pump, you can just see it on the camera here. Now, if you spray it really closely to the object in question, it will be an awful lot more prominent. So I'm just going at it from different angles at a distance away because I don't want to lose that dark metallic colour. And there you go. You've got your perfect Game of Thrones chair ready to place directly onto your cakes. Happy baking, guys. I hope I've helped you again today, and I'll be back soon with more new, completely free content.